person you see in this video has been dead for several hours. You can see them getting up and trying to leave their room. But be warned, this person died in a fire, meaning there are no organs left inside their body. Every single one has been removed. This video is spreading worldwide. Share it before it's too late. According to many, this man could be the first real zombie. In the footage, he doesn't just sit up. He kicks the bed and tries to leave the hospital room. And this doesn't last just a few minutes. It goes on for much longer. Some are calling it death lucidity, but in reality, death lucidity happens before dying, not after. So what happened to this man? I can understand a final breath before passing, but this is movement after death, and not just a little. And let's not forget, he has no organs left. He was burned to death, yet he's still moving. No, this isn't just death lucidity anymore. This video is hiding something even more terrifying.
People are just finding out about the 500-year-old girl who is coming back to life. Stick with me because you're in for a wild ride, as you can see here. I did a video on this a long time ago, but for some reason it's circulating round again right now, freaking people out online and on social media, so here we go. So this mummy right here is known as La Doncella, or the Children of the Lulacana. These different mummies here are all part of the same family, the Children of the Lulacanu, where this group of mummies were found preserved at the top of the Lulacano volcano. But just wait, because it's crazy. This is the Lulacano volcano, which they were found right at the summit of this. And as you can imagine, it's pretty high up and pretty damn cold. The first crazy part is that look how realistic she looks right now, and she's over 500 years old. But with all of these people being believed to have lived in the 14 and 1500s, and it's also believed they were and sacrificed when they were only around 13 years old, then buried and left at the top of this. Now where it gets even more interesting, of course, the archaeologists found these preserved bodies with all the body features and everything still being there after 500 years. Normally you'd be gone, mate. But this is how you might imagine someone who had passed away about 20-30 years ago at tops. But by far the craziest bit out of all of this, I know you're waiting for it, she's coming back to life. Essentially, what happened is the scientists who were doing the tests when they got these preserved mummies obviously wanted to figure out how the hell is this possible. Of course, from being at the altitude and those sort of temperatures, it froze her body and her insides. So they found her organs perfectly intact, healthier than probably some of you, and even frozen blood still in her body and in her veins. So she was basically the first person to get cryogenically frozen. Now, no, she's not necessarily coming back to life, just going to get up and start walking again. All of these mummies are now in a museum. But the point of what people have been saying is she could technically come back to life. I actually saw a few scientists have said that it could potentially be possible, but it's not exactly going to be the easiest thing in the world, so I highly doubt it.
What if I told you that we're not in the year 2025? In fact, it could be 1727. Sounds insane. Stay with me, as this will blow your mind. In 1991, German historian Hermann Illig proposed something that shakes the very foundation of time itself, the phantom time hypothesis. His claim, the years 614 to 911 AD, never actually happened. They were completely fabricated, inserted into history, a false timeline that we've been living in ever since. But if this is true, who did it, and why Illig believed that three powerful figures were behind this massive historical lie? Holy Roman Emperor Otto III Pope, Sylvester II, Byzantine Emperor, Constantine VII. Their motive to rewrite history for power and prestige. Otto III wanted to rule in the year 1000 AD, a symbolic prophetic year that carried power, legitimacy, and divine importance. But instead of waiting, they simply fast-forwarded history itself. Think about it. If 297 years really happened, we should have undeniable evidence. Artifacts, architecture, written records. But here's the problem they're missing. Historians struggle to explain why this period produced so little physical proof. Why there are so few major advancements, buildings, or documents. And if this sounds impossible, just remember, entire civilizations have been erased from history. What year is it really? How much of our history is a lie?
You need to see this, because the shit I'm about to show you is about to scare the hell out of you. So in Daytona, there has been reports, sightings of UAP, people saying they hear strange noises at night, and there has even been power outages. So they're saying that the US military spotted a gigantic ship underwater. And allegedly, this ship that they spotted, it wasn't something that we made. And in that same area, you have some people saying that they seen something. As a matter of fact, look at this shit. It's nighttime. And that's not the sun. Look at that. Look at that. That's crazy. That's crazy. It's not the sun, and that's not the moon either. The voices in that video clearly stated that that's not the sun or the moon. So what is that shining that bright? Now, I don't know if y'all remember last week, the lady that says she speaks to extraterrestrial people said that last week we were supposed to see a mothership and nobody seen it. And everybody doubted her. Could this be that mothership? Could this be the two motherships that she said we would see? Whatever that is, that's not normal.
Hold on, y'all. Wait. Do y'all remember what they said that these street lights were supposed to do, bro? Like, do y'all remember that shit? Just peep the difference, man. I know y'all remember this 2020 shit. Hold on, yo. Look at this fucking video.
Street light. Let's see what's inside. Uh-oh.
Now, if we just pay attention to what the fuck is going on around us, y'all. Bro, the street lights, bro, along with the color, now we all know that colors do shit, bro. Why did they change it from white lights to purple lights at nighttime, guys? What the fuck? Yo, this video is literally just to make y'all laugh and have, you know, entertainment purposes only. Like, this has nothing to do with anything. This is just all entertainment purposes. Yo, they trying to cook us. Oh my God. I'm not gonna cap to y'all too. I've been seeing this shit so much lately, bro. And if you live in Miami, y'all definitely seen that shit downtown. Oh my God!
I'll tell you, we were in Chiapas, Mexico, and on a mountain, we saw a giant.
Really?
I'm talking about a big one. I'm not talking about a 9-footer, 10-footer. I'm talking about mid-20s. Not for a glimpse, not a second. For about 25 minutes, I stared at it. It did not rattle my faith one bit.
No.
Because I already know how to process all this. In fact, I was actually, all these people were praying for me. We were on this prayer mountain, and this thing came up over the ridge, and it was the next ridge over. This known for having giants in the area. There's big giant footprints everywhere in the rock down there and all this craziness. Even at the hotel, there was a big giant footprint. They had this rock that has a giant human footprint in it. And it also has the largest Mayan ruins on the planet Earth is there, and it's privately owned. And we went to it. The guy that owns it, it's the largest Mayan pyramid on the entire planet Earth. It's all right there.
Jeez.
And yeah, we went out there, which I got to tell you all about that and the craziness that happens there. But we went to this prayer mountain, all these pastors meeting with me. We all got there. They were all praying for me. So all this, like 40 pastors, and they're all praying, and they're all speaking in Spanish. I can see Jerry, and I can see my son Ben. They were all standing there minding their own business, and they're all praying. And I see on the next, there's a big valley, and there's a ridge in front of me, and I see this thing come up over the ridge and stand next to this tree. And as the tree sways, it sways exactly however the trees, and it like mimics it. And I'm just sitting there, man, and I'm just looking at this thing. And I'm like, wow, I saw it come up. I actually saw it come up. And it's staring us down from the next mountain over. And it's staring, I can tell how big it is because of that tree. And it's no joke. I mean, this no joke. And we're just sitting there, and I told Ben, I said, Ben, while they're praying for me, I'm like, yes, Lord, because they're all praying for me. I'm like, Ben, like what? He's like, yeah, he's praying too. I was like, there's a giant on that hill over there. He's like, where? I'm like, right over there. We're praying, yes, Lord, yes, Lord. Ben turns around, he goes, oh my, like King Jesus. I'm like, I know.
Wow.
And when Ben turned around and looked at it, the tree moved and it froze. And so it knew what we were doing.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm just going to tell you this. I started talking to it, and I was talking like this level. Now, there's no way anything can actually hear me. That thing is quarter mile away.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, I see you, you devil. and there's nothing you can do about this. We're here. We're not going away. We're rescuing kids. We're doing everything that Jesus wants us to do, and there's not a thing in the world that you can do about it.
Wow.
You can either move or you can go to hell. And I'm talking in this voice. And then it started doing this. And I told Jerry, I said, Jerry, I want you to softly turn around. He said, why? And I said, because there is something, a giant on the top of that hill, and I've been looking at it for 20, 30 minutes. And Jerry turned around and went, oh my gosh. And man, when he did the thing, kind of stood up like this and just turned around and like in just a couple of strides.
Unbelievable.
The guys just kept right on praying, power of God's moving, Holy Spirit's moving, all kinds of craziness. And they're just like, so I asked them, we're on this prayer mountain. And I said, you guys ever have like crazy things shown? The pastor's like, what are you talking about? Like, you ever had like giants in this region like that? He goes, yeah. He goes, there's one that lives on that mountain right over there. That was the mountain that I actually saw it on.
Wow.
Okay. The girlfriend is going to get inside of the bathtub just because that's the vantage point. But somebody smarter than me is going to have to explain this to me. If I'm blocked, how can you guys still see me right now? One more on top of that. Look. Blocked by this mirror. But yet somehow you guys can see cologne, deodorant, all of that stuff. Double blocked. The mirror can't even, I'm not even reflecting on the mirror. How can you guys see? How is this possible? This is Twilight Zone. Somebody explain in the comments, please.
Take this piece off here, and put it over here. And now you see, the United States is no longer in the middle of the map.
Right.
Now, I did this with a major record company in New York City, I think in 1970. And an older man stood up in the back of the room and said, now, Elliot, you've gone too far. I said, what's your problem? You can't do that with the map. I said, well, actually, you can. He said, no, the United States isn't in the middle of the map anymore. I said, the United States never was in the middle of the map. You need to realize this depends on how you draw your map. And then I pointed this little fact out to him. South America is actually 9 times larger than Greenland.
Even though it doesn't really look like it.
No, it is. South America is actually 9 times larger than Greenland.
It's crazy.
Now, according to your social studies teachers, what is the equator? Halfway between the North Pole and the South Pole on this map would be right about here.
Right.
And that means that Iowa has a semi-tropical climate.
Yeah.
Well, you've been in Minnesota in the wintertime.
I've been in Iowa too. It's definitely
You know that it doesn't have a tropical climate. So you have to then introduce a real version of the map of the world. That's what this is doing.
That's very good.
The Peters projection map. The sizes on this map are right. The shapes are distorted.
Yeah.
Look at Greenland on this map. Right there. See it?
Yeah, it's really tiny.
See how small that is?
Right.
Look at it on the Mercator projection.
So why do they do that? I don't understand.
Why? Because the Pope commissioned Mercator to make a map that shows the spread of Christianity. So all the countries in which there are predominantly white people are larger than those in the southern part of the world, halfway between the North Pole and South Pole.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if you have children going to school and they're seeing this map.
What you're looking at right here is the Emerald Tablets. A lot of people have no idea what the Emerald Tablets are, so I'm about to put y'all on real quick. They basically was saying that this is like something that's for alchemy, right? And for those who can read it, can possess immense crazy powers and do all this crazy fantastic shit. It's even said that if you read it, just the first part of it, you're able to open up portals just with the word of mouth. This is what people feared way back in the day, y'all. So then we ask ourselves, where is this type of stuff at? Some people were saying that the Royal Emerald Tablet lies within a place like this. But the crazy part is, y'all, is so many places on Earth that has not been discovered like this, because this is a brand new discovery right here. That drawing probably got trap doors and all that. But my point is there's shit out here like this that really do exist, and y'all can look that drawing up. Now, I know we all heard about this, the Sorcerer's Stone. Y'all remember that? They even made the cartoon about it, along with like the Fountain of Youth. I think that these type of things were hidden or taken away from us because they just don't want us to be at our potential, you feel me? But whoever running the program, they definitely got their hands on some shit like this, I'm telling you. In my personal opinion, this was probably written by like a fallen, you feel me?
Hey, did you guys hear what's happening in Antarctica right now? Not good. Shout out Kurt Russell. The thing could be happening right now. I mean, whatever. Put it on the bingo card. Scientists from South Africa are trapped with a violent grapeist. God, censorship is literally killing the English language. Anyways. Yes, crisis in Antarctica at the secret secluded base on top of a cliff in which 9 South African scientists are currently trapped with a insane person. Violence has broken out. Like, officially they're saying shit got violent. Someone is probably hurt right now, and they are in the most isolated part of the world possible, baby. We're talking Shining type stuff. And yes, these people go through psychological evaluations before they're sent there, but when you get right down to it, you don't know how a human's gonna react to supreme isolation like that. And they are there for 13 months with like no plan. There's gonna have to send like a secret mission to save them. Maybe it's some new secret sort of weapon. I don't know.
الله شيء طاير بالهواء شنو هذا الله أكبر الله أكبر الله أكبر شنو هذا هذا زمن شنو؟ شكل زمن هذا تبع عليه زيت شنو هذا؟
The following footage is from a woman by the name of B. Green out of North Essex, UK. On March 19th, 2025, she may have just captured undeniable proof that UFOs use portals to enter in and out of our atmosphere. Now, the kicker is, she has been recording tons of UFO activity in the skies over her home. But this one is astonishing. It truly does look like a UFO entering a portal and disappearing. Take a look at this footage. Comment below. Tell me what you think.
Right, that's got a light above it. Can you see the light above it?
What's that?
I don't know. We're going to find out. Right, it's going up to the light. It's gone into the light. It's going out. What the fuck was that? I've just caught that on camera. Right, it's going up to the light. It's gone into the light. going out.
Oh my God, dude. Look at this. Yeah, you gotta go head first. There you go. Don't look at me like that. I'm trying to help you. Oh my God, dude. I've never seen this. Look at this. This is wild. Hey, get back down, huh? Look at this. They all just fell from the sky. The wind cut out. We got north wind. They love soaring in their north wind now. We have a very light south wind, and they all just fell from the sky. I mean, we saved what we could and go drop them off somewhere, I guess. Hey, lock in, twin. All right. All happily released. There's a bunch of them in there. The ones on their bill. Yeah, just.
It's the first time I've ever said that in my life, publicly. You're the first. And a million people's asked me this. 13 is when I really got that message from her, because it's when I was asked by the Pentagon, by 2 Air Force generals, to put it in writing what she told me. And I did. And this was on the request from NASA, a friend at NASA. So he come and got it and hand-delivered it to these generals. And she told me that, she said that when the star of Regulus, she called it a red star. When you look at it, it looks blue. But she said when Regulus is red on the horizon, in front of the gaze of the Sphinx, before daylight. So in other words, when it's sitting right on top of the horizon, before the sun comes up, that moment would mark a change in humanity's knowledge. And she showed me other things. War, us bombing Iran, us bombing Syria. And in them days, none of that had happened. So I put all that on this piece of paper. And now I've had so many write me back, oh my God, you see they just bombed Iran, or Iran just bombed us. You know, you were right the whole time. And I did that in 2012. And so what they did was I gave them the date of 2026, because they took that celestial event and ran it through these machines that showed that exact alignment will happen in 2026 at Easter.
What will happen?
The star will, the alignment she told me about, that the star of Regulus would be on the horizon in front of the Sphinx. At that moment, there'd be a new knowledge. Well, I had no idea if this was even possible, you know, but these astronomers run it through the machines, and it comes out that star is going to come up on the horizon in Easter of 2026. And from that point forward, they started remote viewing this date. Government did. And now you hear it all over TV. 2026, that's the big date. 2027, that year, something's going to happen. Armageddon, you hear it all over. You know, you hear it on TV. If you study, like I've heard even, well, I won't say names, but
please do.
Well, you know Lou Elizondo, right? Lou's mentioned that date. A lot of people have.
Easter 2026.
Well, the year 2026. I gave him the specific time. And it was with Robert Grant that I told him about this alignment and all. And then he's like, oh my God. He's been looking for this ruby, this little ruby you have to find and place it between the paws of the Sphinx to make this event that he knows is going to happen in 2026. I said, Robert, it's not a ruby, it's the star of Regulus. He looks like, he's like, oh my God, it's the king star. So what's going to happen, I don't know. But I think it's possible that's the return of
Christ.
Yeah. or the lady and the whole heavenly host living with us. That's the first time I've ever said that in my life publicly. You're the first. And 1 million people's asked me this. So I think it's entirely possible that, because she told me this. She told me that when the suffering of man becomes too great, that they're going to stop it and they're going to snuff out the darkness. That's why the military and the government all want to know about this, because they know it's real. They know this lady has been seen 1 million times. And when she comes, she's always warning of some big catastrophe. In the Native American world, they call her the White Buffalo Calf Lady.
Went to CIA.gov and typed in the number that I found. And I'm going to read you this report.
Is this scary?
It's something.
Let's go!
All right. This report came out in 2000. All right. It's a little long, but it's worth it.
I'm there. Outkast is playing.
Okay.
Beyonce's still in the Destiny Child. Here we go.
So this is literally a CIA document. The source says Kiev holds Ukraine in Ukraine, whatever. But it's a document from the KGB in Russia.
Mm.
Here it goes. Let's see. In 1991, the KGB. Sorry, it's like. Okay, let me just say this: the CIA documents are very hard to read.
Yeah.
It's like they make that on purpose because no one wants to read them. The KGB top secret intelligence administration. A lot of material from that department found their way abroad, in particular to the CIA. As reported by the authorized magazine Canadian Weekly World News, U.S. intelligence obtained a 250-page file on the attack by a UFO on the military unit in Siberia.
Uh-oh.
The file contains not only many documentary photographs and drawings, but also testimonies by actual participants in the events. Oh, I got to turn off because people are blowing up my phone.
We get it.
It's
You're popular.
It's Kiki.
So
It's
famous.
Kiki.
You're so famous, dude.
Is his
my
mother-in-law?
Sorry, where was I? By actual event. Okay. One of the CIA representatives referred to the case as a, quote, horrific picture of revenge on the part of extraterrestrial creatures. A picture that makes one's blood freeze, end quote. According to the KGB materials, a quiet, low-flying spaceship in the shape of a saucer appeared above a military unit that was conducting routine training maneuvers. For unknown reasons, someone unexpectedly launched a surface-to-air missile and hit the UFO. It fell to Earth not far away, and 5 short humanoids with quote, large heads and large black eyes, end quote, emerged from it. This is where it gets crazy.
What?
This is where it gets crazy. That's not even the crazy part. It is stated that in the testimonies by the 2 soldiers who remained alive, that after freeing themselves from the debris, the alien. I'm like getting nervous.
Yo,
like
you're
talking
good.
about
It's so scary.
Sorry. After freeing themselves from the debris, the aliens came close together and then, quote, merged into a single object that acquired a spherical shape, end quote. The object began to buzz and hiss sharply and then became brilliant white. In a few seconds, the extreme bright light at that very instant, 23 soldiers who watched this phenomenon turned into ... stone poles.
What?
Only 2 soldiers who stood in the shade were less exposed to the luminous explosion survived. The KGB report goes on to say that the remains of the UFO and the, quote, petrified soldiers, end quote, were transferred to a secret scientific research institution near Moscow. Specialists assumed that the source of energy that is still unknown to Earthlings instantly changed the structure of the soldiers' living organisms, having transformed it into a substance whose molecular composition is no different from that of limestone.
What?
The CIA representative stated, quote, if the KGB file corresponds to reality, this is extremely menacing case. The aliens possess such weapons and technology that go beyond all assumptions. They can stand up for themselves if attacked.
Wait, help me with the visual.
This is insane.
So they get out of the spaceship, and it's all these little guys.
After it crashes.
Yeah, they shot it down.
They make a little sphere out of their bodies.
They join together.
They merge,
It's
is
like
what they're
their
saying.
molecular structure formed into one sphere.
In a molecular sense.
And then they went,
And then they poof,
and then the people that were exposed to the light or energy
turned to stone.
Turned into stone.
And 2 soldiers survived from it and told the story. And then they went out and collected the
bodies.
The bodies
Of stone.
Of stone.
And this is just being kept filed in America's CIA government's website.
Yes.
Yes, it's been filed.
Yes. But that just got me thinking
That's
too. That
so
it reminded me
scary.
of Lot in the Bible.
I know.
Where his
Yeah.
wife turned around and they said, do not look back at it. And then when she turned around, it says she turned into a pillar of salt.
Oh my goodness.
She was gone.
Interesting.
I've never
And I'm
never
like-
heard a story like that.
Right?
That is so scary. Oh, as soon as you said the white light, I just thought Angel for some reason. Like,
Yeah.
but like, dude.